Hello again, folks. It's your boy Vendetta back again. Welcome back to another video, and yet another episode of Furtime Talktime. And this time, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. As I stated in the last one, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I'm just here. But I'm not gonna explain that. So, my guest tonight is what you would say, as I seen in their TikToks, a triple threat, a very great Twitch streamer, YouTuber, and TikToker. So, I will let you introduce yourself to the viewers. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you BardicRJ.
Hi, I'm BardicRJ. As Vendetta said, yeah, I am a triple threat. I am a partner Twitch streamer, I am a YouTuber, and also a TikToker as well. I come from Wales, so Borda Prenanda Nostar Pub. And what else can I say about myself? I'm a bit of an idiot. Yeah, I'm a bit of an idiot.
Aren't all content creators just like that?
I have my own special brand.
Fair.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess, let's just dive right into the question. So, Bardic, my first question for you, very important. Why did you become a content creator?
Ooh, I found it fun. Was the thing. Since I was young, I was just always enjoying the vibe of making people laugh, I guess is the thing. I always liked engaging in content. I mean, we all do. We all like engaging in content. But whether it was TV shows or whatever. But there was something about making something that made someone else feel either like a little less alone or just something to pass the time and just enjoy it, that made me feel good. And as time went on, that has been stuff from singing to producing shows to making movies to TV shows and radio shows, and if there's a type of content out there, I've probably done it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people like seeing people... Alright, let's just move it on. Let's move on to the next question. So, my next question for you is, and it's also an important question, how did you get into the furry fandom? Like, what sparked your interest in the furry fandom?
It was an accident, more than anything. So I was aware of the furry fandom for a long time. I always thought it was like an ooh, kind of cutesy, kind of unself-aware kind of community. That's how I always thought of it, going through the years. And then during the pandemic, I was playing a lot of Fall Guys, and me and my friend got bored of it. We maxed out. We got high rankings in season 1 of Fall Guys, and it's just like, hey, what should we do? It's like, we haven't gone on VR chat for a long time because we went on there during the craze of like the Ugandan Knuckles meme, and when that happened, got on in, went avatar searching. I've still got a bunch of like my Kingdom Hearts and Legend of Zelda avatars on my account to this day. But my friend said, hey, there's a world that's got furries in it. Do you want to go? And I was like, lol, okay. I've been mildly interested in furries since like 2009, kind of a deal. I've read some comics and this, that, and the other, but I never engaged in the community. So I was like, oh, I'm ready for the cringe, let's go. Went in, just a bunch of cool people talking to each other. And I liked that vibe, made some friends, kept coming on back into VR chat to talk to those people, made some close friends, some of which I'm still friends to this day with. And yeah, it picked back up on my streaming by hanging out with these people, made me get out of that streaming funk, and it really... I used to say I was furry adjacent, and then when I started becoming a streamer, it was like, nah, there's no getting away with it. I'm a full furry now. Now I have a fursuit and everything, and I go to cons.
You know what they say, once you become a furry, there's no getting out of it. You're pretty much a
I
furry for
don't
the
know
rest of your
how I
life.
would sell the fursuit at this point. Yeah, what am I gonna do with the fursuit? I think about this. It's something that people don't think about. Like when they buy one. What do you do with it? Just like if you leave, what do you do with it?
All right. Moving on to the next question. Oh, something I forgot to mention. This interview may be a little bit shorter than usual because I'm trying a new technique where I'm just using game capture on OBS.
Fine.
All right.
You're fine. Don't worry.
I'm sorry if I'm talking too much. I'm just, again.
You aren't talking too much. We are just talking back and forth. We are fine. Take a deep breath. We are just chatting. Okay? I'm here to help you, and it's fine. You're honestly fine. Don't worry, sweetie.
Okay. Thanks. All right. So, Bardic, my next question for you is, who is someone that you look up to?
Ooh, that can depend on a lot of things. So, in my real life, it would be my granddad. Like to give a very kind of cliche kind of answer. He's who I kind of want to end up being similar to as I get older in life. He still keeps us active. He's very passionate and in love with my nan, since the day he met her, kind of thing. Up until like his late 70s, he was always like going out on walks and a very determined person. And I strive to be like him as I get older. When it comes to content generally, people like Markiplier would be a cliche. Same with Rhett and Link. Rhett and Link have known how to make an amazing show for the past 15 years on the internet, kind of a thing. They know how to innovate. They know their audience. They know how to market, and it's wonderful. Markiplier knows what to do, and is at least from outside looking in, a genuine person. Doesn't get caught up in controversies because they don't get into them, and try to do good in the world while also understanding the ripple effects of doing negative at the same time. And I hold those into my chest a lot as well. And then there's within the furry space, there would be people like Whiskey Dingo and Cinder Collie, who both know how to do a very good show, as well as look after their communities and innovate and just be themselves. And it's great to see they've both been people since day one that I've, like, since finding them, I've been like, these are cool people.
Yeah, that's great. That's great inspiration, because for me, inspiration, like you said, it's various different things that could depend on, like content-wise. Like Markiplier was also a bit of my inspiration because he was the one who I found how to be a better person about myself. He was the one about starting up content. And furry-wise, it would have to be, well, I'll give two examples. Maple and Aki. Those two really picked me up and told me how to be they really kick-started my content creation.
Heck yeah, that's good. It's one of those things where, like, I'm lucky to have those two as friends. I met Aki 2 years ago. Met Maple nearly just shy of 2 years now, and they it's lovely seeing them wear their hearts on their sleeve, and to see the effect that they have on people as well is wonderful. And so it's like a passing of the baton kind of a thing, because if someone inspires you to do something, you get to inspire others to do something as well. So there's always
And
that,
that's what I'm
too.
looking for
And you never really get to
creation.
see that effect.
That's what I'm looking for in content creation. Like, I want to inspire people. I want to, and it might sound a little bit cliche, I want to push forward the next generation of furry content creators.
Heck yeah. I'll keep pushing.
Yep. All right. Next question. So, my next question for you, Bardic, is: do you remember what your first stream was?
Oh, that's a very vague question. First stream as like a furry? Because I've started streaming off and on again so many times. So this current gen, I say current generation of streaming, was Night in the Woods. It was Night in the Woods that I started off with. Night in the Woods is one of my favorite games. It's got one of my favorite clips. There's even a soundbite from that in my stream theme music, which I love. It's just me. It's just me giggling because I burped while I was talking, and that means so. I know it's one of my first ever clips of streaming, and then, like, I know it's childish to like me giggling at my own burps, but it means a lot to me to like keep the past with me, not stare at it, not live in it. I wouldn't go back at all in any of and live in any of those times of streaming, and because things are good now, and I love now. And there are some bits I get nostalgic for, but you don't live in the past. You take it with you. You take the things that you learned from it, and you honor it. And Night in the Woods, favorite game. It made me feel so good. It makes so many other people feel really good as well. And obviously, I'm a furry degenerate, so I feel like starting to become a furry, and and me playing a furry game as my first streaming thing, it was just a match made in heaven, and I loved it because I didn't start as a I don't like being considered a VR chat streamer. I prefer being considered a variety streamer because I do more things, and even when I'm in VR chat I try to do different things with the platform, and I see streamers come in just streaming VR chat from the get-go and doing like boost up to big numbers, and then the second that they try and switch out, they play a separate game, they lose their audience. And I'm very proud of my community and proud of where we're at, that because of how I started, because of the content that I've done, because of who I am and who we are as a community, we come together and we vibe and we hang and we listen. And we're not just there because pretty furry on screen. But yeah, to answer your original question, Night in the Woods.
Yeah, well, I just want to go back to the inspiration stuff because there was something I forgot to mention. So about Maple, like, she's really helped me a lot, because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be sitting down here with you. She was basically the reason I'm sitting down with you right now. She's helped me out a lot.
What? How so? How so?
Okay, so, like, a while ago, like, I did want to bring you on the show, like, a while ago, because I was explaining this to Maple, like, how I did want to bring you on the show, but I wasn't sure if you'd be up for it. So I asked her if she'd grab you, and lo and behold, here we are right now. And I answered the question, yeah, here we are right now.
Hello. I'm intimidating. I've been told many times that there's like people find it difficult to ask me questions because they're scared I'm gonna like make them feel stupid, and I'm like, I don't. Unless you're being a knob, I won't make you feel stupid. I promise. That is my vibe. But I get a lot of shy people do get nervous talking to me.
Yeah.
I give off the I give off the I don't want to disappoint my dad vibe I have been told. It's like, if I say something stupid to my dad's gonna tell me I'm stupid. It's like, yeah, I get it. I get
And this
it.
is the problem with social
I don't
anxiety.
mean to, but yeah.
But I'm not gonna say that here. So, next question before we talk about this way too much.
Yes.
So, Bardic, my next question is what, in your opinion, you can explain this however you want. In your opinion,
Okay.
what is the best part of streaming for you?
Making people feel less alone. On a selfish side, I get to come to my computer every day, be in charge of my own life, press live, and there is an audience there that I get to do what I want in front of, and that's the selfish part of it. I can choose whatever I want to do every single day to perform to. Doesn't matter the size of the audience, our live audience. Like, that's the selfish side. Beyond that, it is an honor to make people feel less alone, to have people want to connect with each other, and have that done in my community where that people meet each other and become friends. And to be overly emotional, overly philosophical, or whatever, we're on this planet for such a short period of time, but also a very long period of time. And connecting with people is one of the best things that we can do as human beings. And to make people feel less alone, to talk about my experiences in life, and have people go, I feel that way. Or me talk about, like, my gender, my sexuality, the anxieties that I go through, the abuse I've been through, and have people go, I've been through those things, and this person in front of me is doing good. This person is thriving, or at least being honest about how they're not doing okay sometimes. It makes people feel less alone, and not an outcast, not a broken person. It makes them feel a part of something, and that's an honor. I like being able to share what I think and what I feel, and have someone on the other side feel less alone because of it.
Yeah. It's a very good reason. Because the reason why it's a very good reason because I know now that I'm not alone. And I know that many people out there, whether you're watching this video or you're in Bardic's live stream or watching Bardic's TikToks, I guarantee you're gonna make a few friends here there. And you're gonna have fun with each other, and who knows, you might start something together.
Heck yeah.
And that's why I agree with you. That's the best part of it.
I'm proud of it. I'm proud of what we get to do here.
Yeah. And I can honestly say I am proud to be a content creator.
Fuck.
Alright, next question. Okay. So Bardic, my next question for you is, and this is a question, is there any advice that you would give to the viewers right now who want to start content creation? Like,
Go live. Just go live. If you want to be a streamer, the first thing that you've just got to do is go live. Fix it as you go. You aren't going to get a viewership from your first stream. You aren't. You're just not. So fix it as you go. Figure out who you are as you go. Just make something. If you want to be a content creator, stop trying to find other people to collab with. Come up with your ideas first. understand your limitations. It doesn't matter if you want to make furry content. It doesn't matter what you want to make. If you want to make something, if you want to make vlogs, you have a phone. Make them on there. There's editing software for your phone. If you want to make VR chat videos, what's your limitation? What's your limitation? OBS is free. Look for a free video editing software. If your computer can't do like VR kind of stuff, look for other ways to engage in furry content. Make comics by taking pictures in VR chat and then putting them together and doing something. Understand what your limitations are and make what you want to make, understanding those limitations, and keep pushing beyond it. If you want to be a streamer, you've got to just press go live. You've just got to go live. There is no other way around it. It doesn't matter what game, doesn't matter any of that. If you want to make content, make content. Make quality content that is you. Don't worry about the rest of it, alright? It's getting places online is lightning in a bottle. It is. I've been making content since 2006 on YouTube. I used to make homemade episodes of Doctor Who with my friends when I was 13 years old. Right, 12 years old actually. Oh my god. So I know how long it takes. How long it can take to get anywhere. I never cared because I was just making stuff that I loved making. And that's what you need to fall in love with first. You need to fall in love with making stuff. Alright? And then, if you are lucky and lightning strikes you, that's when you start thinking about the business side of things. That's when you start putting your marketing cap on and knowing where to put yourself and this, that, and the other. Alright? If you're after moving up the ranks a little quicker kind of a thing, if you're at that point right now that maybe you've been lucky enough to get hit with a little bit of lightning, like you've got a little bit of static going on right now, get over to TikTok, put some of your clips or content over on TikTok and try and bring people elsewhere. That's one thing that helped with me, is bringing people over from YouTube Shorts and TikTok over to Twitch kind of a thing. You don't stick to one platform. You don't stick to putting all your eggs in one basket. That's how you develop further out. But that is so later. You need to fall in love with content creation first. Because if you only care about the numbers, if you only care about being popular, if you don't care, or if you don't think about what your content is, or don't think about what you truly want to make in your heart, you're not a content creator. You just want people in your life.
Yeah. And all that is very true. Like what you said, like with if I'm sorry. Like what you said with, like, if your computer, like, with working with what you've got, there we go, got the right words, it's definitely one of the best advice I give. Work with what you got. If you don't have a PC, like, make stuff on your phone. Like, I don't care. Like, if you have something that you can make content with, make content with it.
Exactly. You gotta fall in love within the medium in any way that you can possibly can. Writing, editing, presenting, streaming, any capacity, any facet of content creation. If you're gonna fall in love with it, fall in love with it. You know, put all your hard work into it.
Alright. I guess moving on to the next question. So, as you know, most of the people here are essentially, I mean, most of us are, I'd say most of us, are VR content creators. So, an important question about VR is, how has VR changed? How's your outlook of VR changed over the last few years?
The pandemic was a troubling time and a very good time for VR. People were stuck in their homes. VR took off because they wanted to hang out with people and do things and get out of their homes, essentially, without being able to get out of their homes. And VR, big boost because of it. I think the biggest problem that I know I went through is a detachment from reality to a point. I know. Do you know how many hours that you have in VR chat? How many hours do you have?
I don't know.
I have over 6,000 hours in VR chat.
Well, I don't know what it is, but it's definitely more than what I've got.
Yeah, I have a lot of hours in here, and that's because I was in here probably at the worst of it all 12 to 18 hours a day, including sleep. Because I didn't want to be anywhere else. I was using my Quest to be in here, and I just wanted to be in here around friends and to be anywhere else other than my own home. Because I used to be a social butterfly, out there all the time, living my life and loving my life, kind of a thing. And VR helped me have that again during the pandemic. But the problem was, it was a huge negative on my health. I was losing hair. My skin was awful. I was clearly stressed. I was clearly not doing well in my health. And then when things started to turn around for me, when I started like touching grass again, honestly, touch grass, guys.
Yeah,
when I started
make sure
touching
you guys
grass
get
again,
your exercise.
Yeah. When I started touching grass again, I kind of woke up to the reality around me, and, you know, took the headset off more. I'm not denying my addiction to VR. I knew why I was in it, but I also know it was also what I needed at the time. It was a benefit for my mental health, while maybe a distraction for my mental health, because there wasn't really anything else I could do at the time to benefit myself. So, my biggest thing that I have as a lesson for other people is, because this is what I started doing, the second I started touching grass more and started getting in touch with reality more, is that I started asking myself to pull out of VR. What am I pulling out? If I'm going to get into this community, if I'm going to spend time in here, what am I going to get out of it, other than just having a bit of fun? So, the things that I realized since being in here is that I became more confident in here because I kind of got to start fresh. Being in VR, you get to slam a refresh button. No one knows you. If you come in here knowing no one knows you, and you build this part of yourself, and especially within the furry fandom, you build a persona. So you can be that persona. You can be a character. I myself was just the best parts of myself when I got in here, and I got better. I got more confident. I was more of a leader, and there weren't any anxieties around those behaviors. But then when I went back into real life, I noticed one time that I was going to a place and I was kind of anxious, and I was like, why am I anxious? I do stuff like this in VR all the time. So I thought about being what I'm like in VR. I thought about, like, alright, let's be quote-unquote Bardic a second, even though I go by Bard IRL as well. Let's be Bardic a second. Let's channel that more VR confident side of me. And I did, and I realized if you're going to be in VR, if you're going to spend time in here, if you are learning stuff about yourself in here, because a lot of people learn about their gender in here, their sexuality, their personality while they are in here, but avoid it when they take the headset off. Pull out. You gotta take those things and you pull it out. You will live a happier life. You are discovering things within this reality here. Take it into the real one.
Yeah. And I kind of agree with what you said about during the pandemic, because there was, there was literally nothing we could do. But during the pandemic, I really never had proper access to VR until like late 2020. Well, mid 2021, I didn't have access to it. So again, it started to take a toll. Oh, it started to take a toll on my mental health. Like, really did. Like, I literally didn't talk with anyone for like months, I believe. But as you said, VR chat kind of helped with that. It kind of helped make me become a social butterfly. But as you said, sometimes we need that pull back into reality. We do need a reality check every once in a while, because everyone knows this. We can't be in here all the time. We have our limits. So both parts of it are blessing in disguise and a bit of a what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know what the word is, but you get what I mean.
Sorry, you don't know the word, but it's what?
I don't know the word that I'm looking for. But it's both a blessing in disguise and a bit of a... I can't find the word that I'm looking for. Like, a curse. A bit.
Oh, yeah. It's a blessing and a curse, yeah.
Yeah. So... yeah, moving on to the next question. Alrighty. So my next question for you is, what has been one of the biggest challenges that you had to overcome to be the person you are right now?
Oh, that's a loaded question. So, two people I really cared about last year, left me. That's the easiest way I'll get into it. Kind of a deal. And there were things that, that happened to me that made me realize the damage that had done, and things that I've been putting off for a long time. I finally went to therapy to deal with. And it was based in my neediness. It was based in my lack of self-esteem. Because I've always been this loud person who wants to make people laugh. But the difference between me now and then were... I don't need to worry now about... how do I phrase this? Back then, I felt like me being someone to make other people laugh gave me value. It's not what gives me value. Being me just gives me value. I have self-confidence now. I have the ability to love myself and be myself. And if someone doesn't vibe with me, goodbye. I don't care. Back then I did. I overly cared. I needed to be valued. I needed to be considered a, someone to these people. Whereas now I'm like, okay, you're not giving me what I'm giving you. Goodbye. And therapy was so important for me to get to where I am now. Without therapy, I would still be a mess. I started setting limits for myself. I started loving myself. And there was something so... In that session with my therapist where they diagnosed me with self-esteem issues, and planned out a course to manage that, was so... I cried because I felt validated, and there was something we were finally doing about it. But I was so happy at the same time, because it was like, yeah, this is messed up, and I'm gonna be okay. It was like I'd been drowning for so long, and finally being given like a life. What are they called? The rings. This could have been very poetic until I messed that up. But just a lifeline. Just finally, someone sees me and understands what I'm going through and helps me. And that isn't something anyone can do for you. That isn't. I can't be like, my friends weren't there for me, because my friends were there for me. Everyone in my life was there for me, but they didn't know how to help me because they didn't know how to help me. It took a therapist to help me, and I feel so much better about it, and it's why I love talking about mental health and talking about those things and talking about self-care, because I don't want it to be stigmatized. I don't want people to be scared to do those things, to admit those things about themselves, because you're not broken. You're driving down a snowy road at like 70 miles an hour your whole life, and you don't know where you're going, you don't know what you're about to see, you don't know if you're going to slide into anything at any point. And therapy just helps you get rid of the snow. You're still going down this road and you still don't know what's going to come at you at life, but you've taken that one obstacle away, and that is so important.
Yeah, that is, in my honest opinion, that is really, really important, because there are some times where, you know, that sometimes people won't always be there for you. So yeah, therapy really does help.
Yeah.
For me, I'm still working on that. But it's gonna take time.
Just challenge yourself. Take it a day at a time. That's all you can do.
Yep, it's gonna take time.
It gets easier, but you've got to do it every day.
Alright. Before one of us gets emotional, let's move on.
Cool.
Alright, I think I found it. I think I found my next question. So I guess I think let's have some more general knowledge about Bardic. So, do you have a special song? Like a song that has certain meaning to you?
Oh God. Oh, there's a big question. Depends at the time. I've got many, so I'm probably gonna list off a few. Jason Mraz did a song a few years ago called "Love Is Still the Answer," and I love Jason Mraz. I always have for a long time. My favorite song of his is "I'm Yours," and it made me want to travel. It made me want to just loosen up, kind of a thing. And I still have trouble just loosening up. I'm a very busy go-getter kind of a person. I'm waiting for that time in my life where I start to slow down, and I want to be okay with that. I want to settle, kind of a vibe. But their song "Love Is Still the Answer," my nan has Alzheimer's and dementia, and I've spoken about that before in a comedic sense, but you know, that sucked when that happened. But my nan and my granddad, as I mentioned, who was my hero, they celebrated their diamond anniversary a couple of years ago, and I filmed it, and they love each other so much, and I used that song to edit the thing to, and it talks about you know, at the end of my life, what will I give and what will I take? And I think about that a lot because my nan was someone who worked a lot in the community to make other people's lives better, especially kids, and do things for education reform. And she did a lot. She was very political, and I try to be like that. And I didn't get too politically minded until she got dementia and Alzheimer's, so we never really got to discuss those things. But the big inspiration that I get from her, and the reason why this song is that she gave so much more across her life. She's still alive now, but you know, with dementia she can't really do as much or anything. But there are people out there whose lives are better because of her, and they don't even know her name. She was like she was the head of the board for like adoption agency. She did so much across her life, and that song has a special meaning for me. Right there, just because it reminds me of my nan, it reminds me of my granddad, it reminds me of what she has done across her life and the love that they both have together. And when Jason Mraz was, because he released that album and I fell in love with that song, but then when he released it as a single, he was after people to submit video clips. Because he wanted to make a music video off of everyone else's love. Like, what do they think love is? And I submitted a video clip of my nan and my granddad talking to each other in the retirement home. And it's around 1 minute 24 in the music video for Love Is Still the Answer. There they are. They are in that music video where millions of people who, once again, will never know their names, just get to see them for a brief second, and I love it. I love that. So yeah, I guess that's my answer. I have tons of other songs that have a huge amount of meaning to me, but
I do
that
too.
one.
You're not the only one, and you're not going to be the last. But I never really explained one. I know I said that Not Alone by Red was one of my favorite songs. I explained this in like a few interviews back, but there's another song. It's called The Fear of Letting Go by Ruel. She's a brilliant artist, super underrated, but why that song has special meaning to me is because, like, so I'm just trying to find the right words. So that song was about, like, it describes like how I'm feeling in my brain. It's like mental health is like a war going on in your head. Like, how the hell do I win this war alone? And because in the past, I used to have a fear of, just letting things go and forgiving myself, but that fear is still there, but it's not as big as it was 2 years ago. So there's always a fear of something, but sometimes in life you just gotta let it go.
Letting go is a very hard thing to learn how to do, and it's very different for each scenario. And fear should always be a fear, and there are two things that I believe that should push you, and that is fear and jealousy. Jealousy shouldn't be a fight. It shouldn't be a I dislike this person because of this thing. Jealousy should be a if you can be upset if someone hasn't earned something, but if someone has earned something and someone has a great idea and you're jealous because of it, that should push you further. But fear should also push you as well. It should build up that courage within you, because courage isn't a lack of fear. Courage is understanding your fear and letting it go, and just letting it push you into the next thing.
Yeah, but that song is just, why that means to me is because a few months ago, like, I had which is something which is something that's quite affected me quite a bit. Oh, and never mind. So I'm not gonna explain it because it's personal, and it really hurt me very badly. But I'm only gonna put this lightly, like the lightest of terms. I had to let go of a special someone.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna leave it at there because I don't want to talk about it.
That's fine.
But yeah, let's move on before one of us gets emotional. I don't know. Again, like I said, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I've lost control of everything.
All good. You're all good.
Alright, it's enough. Alright, so Bardic, my last question, and
Yes.
is there anyone out there, like, that you want to thank for making this all, your whole content creation journey possible for you?
My mods and my friends. I'm lucky enough where I don't know too many other streamers that haven't had to be like, I need more mods, or I need to hire people within the community to be mods. I've been lucky enough that my friends they love coming to watch, and I'm gonna cry. My friends have been so lovely that they enjoy watching, and I'm confident in myself to be able to like handle trolls and stuff like that. So I have never needed mods to handle that for me. But a lot of my friends I just mod because they come watch, they come vibe, and they're as protective of me as I am of them. And they've been wonderful, and I don't think there is such thing as a self-made streamer. There are probably two, there may be more, but there are two types of content creators. Those who their friends help them get to where they are, or those who stole to get to where they are, those who manipulated to get to where they are. I've been lucky enough to be, have such wonderful friends who like getting involved, who review my ideas, who call me out on things, who are there to be wonderful to me, and I get to be there for them. I always like climbing with people. I always like working with people and pushing them. I'm so proud of people like Maple and Sledge, who have come so far since knowing them. They're both partners now as well, and it's really nice. We all have our own communities that we vibe out in, but then at points we come together for different reasons, and it's nice because it's like this comfortability of like we're just friends. We are just friends. So when we hang out as friends, it feels nice because we're just friends and we exist as friends. And then when we manage to collaborate as like a trio or duos or stuff like that, it is like I get excited. I get really excited. You can hear it in my voice right now because I'm smiling like heck. It's like how we did it before, how we grew together before we had big communities to look after ourselves. But when we do, it's like these like big pillars of like communities of like coming together to do something cool, like the Relay of Regret. And I love everyone that got involved in the Relay of Regret, and we earned so much money for charity, and I love them. I love all of them, and anyone that has ever helped me, anyone who's ever collabed with me, has given me the opportunity to spread my voice or believed in me. Thank you. There's too many of you to thank. I am not a self-made person, so thank you.
Alright, and that'll do it for this video. So guys, if you liked it, make sure to subscribe, turn on the bell, and like this video. And also, as always, I will leave Bardic's Twitch, YouTube, and his basically their socials in the description down below. And I guess stay safe, take it easy, happy holidays, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Later, y'all.
There you go.